Misericordia University offers an integrated studies program. The integrated studies program is an inclusive post-secondary certificate program. The 2-year certificate program is a 4-semester opportunity for students diagnosed with autism, intellectual disabilities, or comorbidities. 2 of our current students, Olivia and Gailey, have completed 1 year, 2 semesters. They're working on their 3rd semester. Olivia comes to us from Mountaintop. She is an exceptional student. She is kind and considerate and thoughtful of others around her. Gailey also comes from Mountaintop. Gailey is well-rounded, very well-cultured, very considerate of others, and very knowledgeable. The student's day begins by arranging transportation with the family. The family coordinates the transportation. The transportation services would either have them drop them off at the center or have them drop off at the upper campus shuttle, where the academic coach will meet the student, and then together the student and the academic coach would walk to the library, walk to where their curriculum has them assigned to go, whether it be in a professor's room, in the classroom at Mercy, at Insalacos, at McDowell, and the student will then begin their day. Our academic coach's responsibility is to encourage our integrated studies student to socialize amongst other Misericordia student peers, other faculty, and other staff, so that when they have an opportunity during their free time, they have an opportunity to have conversations about specific likes or dislikes, what they have an interest in, so that they can increase their socialization skills and build their confidence.
I had known about the Autism Center at Misericordia University for several years after it had been announced to the faculty, but I actually had no idea about the Integrated Studies program and bringing some of the students, or bringing some of those young men and women into the classroom. I had no idea that this was a program at Misericordia until I had the chance last fall to meet with Janine and Olivia and learn a little bit more about the program before Olivia attended my class in the spring. Overall, the experience was really positive for me. First of all, Olivia was in many ways, Olivia was a model student. She was incredibly diligent. And what I really appreciated most about Olivia was she always participated in class and was always involved in our discussions. And that's more than I can say for most of my students in general. So my integrated studies student was in many ways really a model student. I very much enjoyed having her and her academic coach in class. I think having an integrated studies student in my class made no difference whatsoever to our everyday experience. I honestly didn't realize that Olivia's academic coach was not a student most of the time. I just assumed she was one of the students. So it was really not a case where it changed anything that I would normally do in the class on a day-to-day basis. And I did nothing extra for Olivia that I didn't do for other students who have accommodations like give extra time or let her take her tests in the Student Success Center. So it really didn't change much about the class dynamic at all, except that Olivia was a good student who liked to talk, and I always appreciated her input. Overall, I had a really positive experience having a student from the Integrated Studies program in my class, and I would look forward to having more students from the program in future classes. And I really hope that my faculty colleagues would embrace the opportunity to have a student from Integrated Studies attend one of their classes as well.
In addition to their academic curriculum, they're also assigned life skills and career exploration. During this experience, they're given opportunities to identify their strengths and weaknesses. In most cases, it's trying to identify and balance a checkbook, managing money, making a grocery list, how to live an independent life productively. Gailey is very well-rounded, speaks several languages, loves reading. She loves the arts. She can perform and recite any plays. She loves to work with her hands. She shows an interest in all the arts.
We learned about the program when Janine emailed us asking if we could accommodate a student, host a student that she had in mind, because the student had a lot of interests that would match up with the library, loved to read, and had a lot of the kinds of skills that would match up with the types of tasks we do in an academic library, whether they're for staff or for a student. I absolutely enjoy providing internship opportunities for students. It gives us a great opportunity to learn more about students, to welcome them to our community. And this instance in particular really encouraged me to change the way I might speak to a student and think a little bit more differently, if they're a neurodivergent student like Gailey was. It was important for me to be more conscious of how I spoke in the way that she does process what someone is saying to her. I would recommend anyone taking on a student from this program. It speaks to our Mercy mission, and it's a very important way for us to be able to include a more diverse population in our classroom, our workspaces, and to offer that kind of opportunities to students. If you're hesitant about doing so, figure out how it might work best for you. Working with Janine was fantastic, working with the work coaches, the academic coaches, to just really figure out the ways in which we can open up our community to students like this. And it's really easy to communicate with everybody involved in this program to do it.
The student requirements: they must be between the ages of 18 and 26. They must have a high school diploma or a GED. They must have an IEP or a 504, show an interest in higher education here at Misericordia University, and/or show an interest in employment to pursue a life of independence. They must also have 3 letters of references, 2 professional, 1 perhaps personal. They must also complete an interview process with the student body. Once they complete that process, we would then focus on their person-centered interests. Misericordia University is dedicated to developing, expanding, and improving an inclusive higher education experience for students diagnosed with autism.